Some people dream success. Don't let your dreams be dreams. You should quit, or anyone else will quit, and you're not gonna stop there. So just do it. Make your dreams come true. Do it. Nothing is impossible. Do it. Make your dreams come true. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Just do it. Don't let your dreams be dreams. Yesterday you said tomorrow. Yesterday you said tomorrow. Yesterday you said no. You're gonna wake up and work hard at. You're gonna wake up and stop giving up. You're gonna wake up and work hard at. You're gonna wake up and make your dreams come true. Don't let your dreams be dreams. What are you waiting for? Yesterday you said tomorrow. Yesterday you said tomorrow. Yesterday you said no. You're gonna wake up and work hard at. You're gonna wake up and stop giving up. You're gonna wake up and work hard at. You're gonna wake up and wake up. Just do it. Make your dreams come true. Do it. Nothing is impossible. Make your dreams come true. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Just do it. Nothing is impossible.
Ready for Revolution, Brother Eric Ray Muhammad here. Hope all is well with you and yours. I just felt the need to just come on and just tell folks to, just do it. Stop delaying, stop procrastinating, stop doing those things that impede your progress. Hey, Sister Tina, just do it. You're in a situation right now, family, where all the traditional things have failed us in answering the crisis that we're involved in, the pandemic that we're involved in, the economic loss and strife, the anxieties that are building in households. Man, look, just do it and recognize where you are. You're in a new norm. You're in a new reality, and that new reality dictates new action. It doesn't rely on yesterday. It doesn't rely on your logic. It doesn't rely on what you used to do or what you were accustomed to doing. You need to realize that in crisis, traditions are destroyed. The ways of doing business as we used to is no longer there. The way you would go to work or to school or what have you, it's no longer there because it's decayed with the world that's going out, and you've been blessed to see another day to usher a new world in. But it starts with you. The reality of that ushering in starts with you. You have to be armed. You have to be equipped. You have to have the vehicle by which you can realize the power of your dreams. You have to be equipped. You have to equip yourself. You have to be willing to recognize your role today and not look for a handout of something that you can do for yourself. We're positioned now to literally do for ourselves because we have the one vehicle, that one instrument, that one signature that shows that the God is with us. Now, I've had this discussion on Class in Session this morning, and then I was blessed to speak to my direct mentor, Mr. Ty Best, and sort of round this out because it's been building in me and building in me and building in me. And then we came through such a phenomenal weekend with our launch of FreeBay. And there's still people sitting on the fence. How long you think the fence gonna be there, let alone you? Listen, I want you to understand something about this product line of ours and what we have, but more so First, I want to invite you tonight to our wealth building event. It's a live event. It's a live event. It takes place on our event platform, www.goldrocks.info. Now, it requires a password. So those of you who are unfamiliar with the event platform, those of you who are unfamiliar with FreeBay International and FreeBay AG and what we do as Wealth Builders Worldwide, if you're not familiar, this is the perfect opportunity for you to get familiar. Get on our platform tonight, www.goldrocks.info, tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern for the live wealth building event, because we have some things we have to share with you. I was going to do a whole blown out presentation, but that'll happen at 9. I want us to understand our now. I want us to look at some things and be honest with yourself. Be truthful with yourselves, because you don't know the way. And there's a difference between the anointing and the appointing. Some people are anointed by the God to order, or not order, but direct change. And there's others that are appointed to help that anointed one to facilitate it, to make the commission known, to help us understand where we are in a new way. This is revelation. It's total revelation. The conversation I had with Mr. Best this morning, and what I was blessed to have with the wealth building family in our class in session this morning, talked about what locks the mind. What is it that keeps us from seeing the power of gold being money? What keeps us from doing that? What keeps us from seeing that we exchange it? We exchange paper. We get rid of paper for these. What keeps us from seeing that? What keeps us from realizing that gold is available to you? That's pure gold, 24 karat, right? 24 karat, 999.9 pure gold. LBMA, London certified, London Bullion Marketing Association certified. That means it's a part of the London Fix in terms of validity of its pureness, of its asset quality, and of its worth in manipulated markets. Okay. So what stops us from seeing gold? When we talk to people about gold, you see the image that Satan created in your head. They didn't want you to have it. They didn't want you to have God's signature. They didn't want you to have his abundance. So they limited you by putting us in this glass house, right? But inside the glass house, they still control what came across your television, what came across your mindset and imagery, what came across in your movies when you went to the theaters. You saw things like Raiders of the Lost Ark, National Treasure, Jewel of the Nile. You see all these World War II Nazi war movies where America is made the victor or Europeans are made the victor, but you always saw that the goal was not to win to war, to restore humanity. You never heard of that we won, everything is back to a pure democracy or this, that, and the other. No, it was always about gold. They always showed you Nazis or Germans going around with train loads of gold. And anytime you saw any image in Hollywood related to gold, they showed you something that was about the size of a brick, right? About the size of a brick, a little larger than that, or Dory bar. You know, they would show you the things that would program or train your mind to say impossible. They trained us to say impossible. It was like driving down the street and they throw that image out there and it was synonymous with a stop sign. So when we talk to you about gold, you couldn't see it because it was never made available to you like this before. It was never made available for you to know that it's transaction friendly, that is a small incremental weights, and it was affordable. They made us chase paper. I mean, it was so bad. Man, I don't even have nothing to show you. I don't even have anything to show you. I don't even walk away. I don't want to walk away from the stream and show you. I want you to get what I'm saying. They made us chase paper. And now paper has proven itself to show its true value. You can write on it. You can wipe with it. You can blow into it. You can burn it. You can decorate with it. You can wrap packages. You can use it as stuffing and fillers in a box. But you can't store value. You can't store labor. It will never be worth as much in the future as it is today. It will always be less because it's heading rapidly towards its intrinsic value of zero. Zero. And where you would not pay attention to us, you like good sauces. Some of y'all like good white sauces. Some of y'all like established media sauces, right? So if it's not real if it doesn't come out in the news. To you. To me. I showed you that presentation from Shia LaBeouf. That was the Transformer fella, right? That was done in 2015. Let me tell you something about that particular presentation so you're clear. That was 2015, all right? And it was a rant. They said he lost his mind. They said that he was doing so many hallucinatory drugs and he was out in the street and he was just talking and preaching and walking up and down the street. They said he was losing his money. He was kicked off of sets of movies. Contracts were reneged. Millions were being lost. They did a whole thing on him, right? And they showed this rant that he gave on a green screen, and he was just saying, just do it. Just do it. I'll complain too darn much. If people aren't willing to give you what you feel you deserve, go get it your damn self. I mean, that was his rant. I think it was about a half hour. I don't know. I don't remember, truthfully. But I saw it, and whatever the media said, I dismissed it as that's what it was. And I kept on going with what I thought was life, right? Fast forward to Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle had a contract worth $50 million a year with Comedy Central. His Chappelle show skyrocketed. It gave social commentary, comedy, music. And it was the right elements, everything that comedy produces, what art imitates, right? Took off. Sponsors were throwing everything at him. Comedy Central said, we'll take care of all the sponsorship, and what you do is take this money. But wait, we want you to dress up in a dress. Oh, wait, we want you to do X, Y, and Z. Wait, we want you to tone this down. Wait, we don't want you to play this. Wait, I don't want you to deal with the Muslims. Wait, I don't want you doing X, Y, and Z. Mr. Chappelle graciously said, the heck with you. And he went on about his business. He turned away $50 million only now in 2020 to have earned more than $100 million. Look, he stuck with his principles. I don't know what his dreams were any more than I do now. I don't know what they were then, but I do know that he was imbued with principles that he was not willing to relinquish. He was not willing to allow someone else to define the narrative of how or who Dave Chappelle is. That I could relate to. Then he went to Africa to visit, and they said, oh, he lost his mind. He went to Africa. He went to go live in Africa because he lost his mind. That's his ancestral ground. Africa is the throne, not just the home. It's the throne of civilization. Many of us, if we had the right sense and understanding of what Africa really is, we'd give our right arms to be there. See, but the issue is we lived in this glass house that controlled all of your imagery, imagery and all of your conscious, what you availed yourself to. So this fella, Ivan Evans, I think his name is, it's in the credits. We'll play it again before we leave. He took that message. He saw what Mr. LaBeouf was doing. And he did a remix. And he added all these graphics behind it. And all the words that are spoken there is the rant in context of what he gave. And he just kept playing it over and over these beats. I mean, fire. And I had to share it this morning in class in session. And I shared it out with different platforms. And I shared it with you here because it's the simple message. Just do it. Do the darn thing. Okay? So when you get stuck and you don't necessarily know which way to turn, which way to go, the answer is to be still and study. How do you study? Well, you got to know why you feel stuck. What are you stuck over? Man, I don't know how to turn this 8 or 9 months home without a payday. I don't know how to turn into something different. My wife is hating me. My children are telling me to get out. My dog bit me. My cat scratched me. Nobody's eating, or everybody else eating but me, because now I'm not breadwinning. I'm not the provider. I'm not the maintainer. They're depending on other things and other people. And I'm sitting here trying to figure out how the hell did this happen? Okay. So that's why you're stuck. So now give yourself, prioritize what you need to have to get unstuck. Man, I need money. Okay. All right. You need some kind of cash flow. Let's substitute that term money. You need some cash flow. All right. What else you need? I needed to be consistent. I needed to be secure and to have the ability to provide security. But do you need a check? No, I don't need a check because I've been out of work so long. A check won't even catch up to the payment of one thing 8 months ago. And I was already 2 years behind when I had the job. So you need a system that will reward you the residuals you need and then some. When I say residual is not active income, but residual can be consistent income. Active income has been defined as you clocking in somewhere and clocking out. Whatever you do in between that time, that is considered active income. That's fixed. Like pensions, they're fixed. Like annuities or whatever it is that you awarded after you is fixed, but it's fixed for loss. But that's another subject. So you need something that will also stand the test of time. Well, how can I get it? All right. Now we're honing in. So now you're Googling. You're searching. You're on Facebook and you're scrolling. But you're scrolling past every opportunity because the opportunities that say you can get started, it says, no, that sounds like work. But hell, isn't that what you're looking for? Because your mentality is telling you, dismiss it immediately because it's a job. So when you see us live streaming all over the world, do you know this past Saturday, 20,000 plus people join us on the platform in the international worldwide launch of FreeBay? More than 20,000 people. All right. And so we know something. We know something. So this is what I'm going to, I'm going to cut the rant. I'm going to urge you to hear what we have to say. Don't be concerned about who's saying it. Don't be concerned about where it's being said. Don't be concerned about how it's being said. I am asking you to give yourself the opportunity to understand what is being said. That what will marry on to your why, because only you know your why, your dream. And let's link it up. Let me show you why this is such a profound opportunity. Let's look real quick at a product. Okay. We're going to go there. We're going to look at this real quick. I'm telling you, and excuse the way I say it, just pay attention to what I'm saying. You need to be on www.goldrocks.info tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern. You need to get a hold of the password and access the platform itself. Don't be lazy about your freedom. Don't be lazy about your need to live, do, and be different. Get with the one who introduced this opportunity to you and ask for that password. God dog it, demand the password. Shake the shiggity out of them. Get that password. Because when you get on the platform, you're live and you have the ability to interact with us, and we can answer your questions in real time. We can do some things. We can explore some things that will help you make the decision to better your existence, better your future. You can live. But you got to be willing. You got to be willing. This is our flagship product. It's gold. Pure gold. Pure gold. This is why the nations of the earth are fighting right now. They're not fighting for somebody's peace or democracy. They're trying to get a peace. P-I-E-C-E. They're trying to get the coffers, or what they call the booty or the prize, in war. They want that which will sustain them for generations. How is it that you can go to countries like Iraq, Libya, Somalia, you go into Sudan, you go into all these countries and you bomb, you pilferage, you murder, you rape, you decimate, you destroy. You leave them paper and you take their gold. How is it that you can't see the value of what you have? They're fighting all over the world to get it. It's God's money, and God has found a way to put it in your hands. Hell, you got $8, $8 US. It ain't worth but 3 cents worldwide in spending power. Do you know if you multiply that 8, that's 24 cents? God dog. Spending power. Don't you want more bang to a real buck? You take that $8 of yours and exchange it for its value is worth in gold. Why? Gold is what's known as a tier 1 asset. Tier 1. Tier 1 means that it's a no-risk asset. Yes, it is not a gamble. Yes, it is not a 401k. It is not a retirement fund where you put money in all the years you work only to find out that it's not enough when you get out, or you lose most of it before you're able to retire, or you early retire because your body's broken down. You gave all that your knees and your joints can give. You've given all of the time and the energy that you had. Now the children have graduated. The spouse is dying. You know, all kind of things are happening. Now you need to get out. I was literally, when we lived in Washington, D.C., I had just returned from Africa. We were living in Washington, D.C., 1999. Wonderful brother. Carlisle was his name, his first name. He's a postal worker. He worked 35 years for the United States Post Office. And he and his wife they promised each other that they were going to take a trip around the world when they both retired. Well, his wife died prior to his being able to retire or taking the retirement. So he didn't get to see it with her, but he said, I'm going 4 more years. I'm going to get my retirement. This was his plan. They articulated to me, and I'm going to get this retirement and I'm going to take that trip and she's going to be with me and we'll have filled. I didn't know that was the first time I ever heard someone say bucket list. I didn't know what a bucket list was. We would have filled our bucket list still. That brother retired in the year that I met him. He retired in the year that I met him. He had his tickets and everything. He was all set on how he was going to go. I mean, it was fascinating hearing this story. He goes to the doctor. He gets his checkup. He's supposed to go back the next day to get his shots because they're supposed to be like 2 weeks before in his system before he can travel. I think he was starting off in Indonesia. He was so excited, man. God. He leaves, the doctor goes into the parking lot. He has a clean bill of health. He goes to sit in his car. He has a heart attack in the car and dies. And this opportunity in wealth building, it makes me to replay the things that I was made by Allah to see. So that I can hone in on the reality of what's in our hands right now. See, when you have to, what is freedom? Freedom is when you can unite, in this instance, where you can unite time and money. When you can put them together, that is freedom. Now, it may not be your freedom if you're working somewhere else selling your time for money, because that's what a job is. You're selling your time for money. I don't care how you cut it. I can't romanticize it with you. We sell our time for money. Now, if you utilize it as a means to an end, then that's okay. Because the jobs were created in society not for you to work them forever. They were created to help you in your pursuit of a goal. See, once upon a time, you can have a job. You can be a head of household over a family of 5. And everybody in that household would have gone to college. No one else would have had to work. All your bills have been paid. You could have a home. You can have food. You can have utilities paid out. And guess what? You would have enough left over to bequeath. You had generational wealth. I mean, it was the Leave It to Beaver society. But that family was more than 50 years ago. It doesn't exist anymore. Everybody has to work. Everybody has to go to school and work. You know, somebody has to bring in enough because it's not enough. All of you in the home right now, downsizing all over the world. You know, how many of you have family who have moved out of the house and you're happy for them, only for them to have to come back 6 months later because they couldn't keep up the rent? Or they come back a year later because they broke up, because they couldn't figure out why they couldn't make it work. And now all of you sitting around the table, if you have one in the house that you moved out of, and you grab the bills and you deal with your bills like it's a deck of cards. Let's see. Okay, Roger, you take the car note today, and who gets paid this week? Oh, Bob. Okay, you get some groceries. Don't get more than $50. We're just gonna stretch it. We'll chew ice and drink water. Let's see. Who has the utilities this week? Okay, we can only pay one this month, so let's pay out the light bill and make arrangements with everybody else. All right, and who else? That's the kind of madness that's going on in households all over the world right now. Definitely in the hills of North America. Definitely. Why do you continue to hold on to that? Because you don't know another way. But if you're on this stream, I know you found a better way. If you see this stream later, I know you found the better way. Gold is money. Gold is God's money. Gold is that signature of abundance that he leaves with us as a sign of not just his beneficence, his mercy, but it's also the premier conduit of energy. So he leaves his power and the power to attract within that power. He leaves his gold is as indestructible and as incorruptible as the God himself. You can polish it all you want, but hell, you can't tarnish it. It doesn't rust. It doesn't rust. It doesn't spoil. It doesn't decay. Well, what happens if I melt it down? Well, fool, you just got some expensive liquid gold on your hand. I don't mean fool, excuse me. You think you got more worth than that paper? Burn the paper and see what you have left. Hell, that stuff is so light now, you don't even get the ashes. You don't know where the hell it goes. You burn these card holders that hold all of our gold, and all the security around it that burns and goes away, guess what'll still be there? Your gold. Gold is mentioned 417 times in the Bible. You find it depending on the translations that you have, you find it anywhere from 10 to 13 times in the Holy Quran. And with the exception of one time that I've studied in the Quran, gold is always looked on as a reward tied to God's promise to those who believe, where you will find gardens with rivers flowing. In fact, there's some aspects of Quran where it tells you, I think it's in the third surah, it talks to you about how you have gold bracelets and you're given land and cattle and raised couches. The gold is put on your wrists. So all this mentioning of gold is of God, and in nowhere in any of those passages does it mention cash, dollars, fiat. But gold is clearly made known to be money and of value and a gift from God. What you see pictured there is known as the life card. Life card. Why is it called life card? It handles a few things. I'll cite two. Number one, you're dealing with an ecosystem. You're dealing with an ecosystem that's designed to not waste energy and not to destroy environment. So life card represents the pureness of the gold and the pureness of the system that we have in place via Freebay. It's called life card because it also extends the life of you, your household, your existence. Listen, most of you control everything in your house except your economy. Fact. Just fact. If you had control of your economy, you could sleep till you got tired. You can stay up until you want to go to sleep. You can go where you want, do what you want, wherever you want it, when you want it. If you control the economy in your household, because that's the missing link to everything else. Yeah, you control where the furniture goes. You control how much food you have in this. You control the laws that dictate your household. But all that control goes out the window when you have to go out the door, lock it, and go to work. We're in a broken society. It works for for those who created it this way because that's their intention. But for those of us who put faith in it beyond or without a God, or you make it a God besides God, rather, then what happens? You broke. I know you think you make good money because it looks good on paper. I know you think you're making good money. When the brother showed me his $500,000 retirement and how he's going to retire, I mean, look, he was only 60 years old. He 30 years, only 30 years, and he saved $500,000 in the bank. I thought that was commendable. But the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Honorable Minister Farrakhan, they teach us to do mathematics. Said, you can lie about your situation all day long. You can lie about numbers, but numbers will not lie. I said, brother, I commended him, but we're going further in the conversation. I said, look, you're talking about doing a whole lot of things on only $500,000. He said, bro, that's $500,000. I said, I know, but you're 60 right now. Your average lifespan, if you believe the statistics, you'll live another 25 years. Yeah, but you heard me, right? I'm retiring this year. I'm going to do X, Y, Z. I said, I'm not beating you down on it at all, but I'm just doing some math. Are you going to get $500,000 every year? No, man, this is one time, $500,000 lump sum. I said, okay, so 500,000 divided by 25 leaves you $20,000 a year. That's a little less than $1,700 a month. That's a little more than $59 a week. You're 60, man. I know you go to the pharmacy. I know you go to the doctor. I know you have to do different things with your diet. Wait, I know you're renting the property you're on. Look, you got the car note you still have to pay. Listen, that is not enough. Now, I'm giving you the recap of the conversation. The conversation went much nicer than I'm sharing right now because I wasn't trying to injure the brother. Hell, I didn't have $500,000. I didn't have 500 pennies. In fact, I didn't know anything about how to save. I knew what to do because the Honorable Elijah Muhammad gave us an economic blueprint. He gave us a 3-year economic plan, and we operate under that in the Nation of Islam. We operate under that. But I didn't know how to do it. I knew the amount we needed to collect and where to put it, but how do I collect the amount? How do I sustain myself in society, continue to give to our plan, continue to pool our resource, and pay my rent, pay my bills, pay my obligations? It seemed like I was being overwhelmed and overrun by the debt, and the debt was not matching my understanding of purpose. And that went on for years. I go to Wealth Builders Worldwide. God blessed me. My personal angel, my wife, Falami, introduced me to this opportunity. I came to it kicking and screaming. I didn't want nothing to do with it because I thought I knew better. See, I wasn't willing to get myself out the way right away. This is why I'm talking to you like this. Because I got myself out the way. I heard the presentation and I looked at her. And looking in her eyes, I'm telling you, I saw now the opportunity to fulfill every promise I made when I fell in love with this woman. I saw the opportunity to accomplish every goal, every wish I had for the children that weren't even born yet. I saw the way to do it. I instantly saw it once I got myself out the way and heard what was being said. And I got in. Today is October 12th. I've been in Wealth Builders Worldwide now 2 years, 13 days. And I still have a lot of issues, you know. You don't get rid of 400 years of slavery, suffering, and death overnight. We got generational issues going on in us, in our minds and our logic. But money's not one of my issues. And that's inside of a 2-year span. I'm telling you, it is not an issue. We were at the bank, my son and I, Ezekiel Farrakhan, a few days ago. And he's opening his first account. He's a young man opening his first account. He has a little job, and I had to be there with him. And we were talking to the actual branch manager. He was handling the account because of all the shortages of people, you know, with the pandemic and the sheltering in place and people not being able to work. And he gives him his business card. He said, "Here's my card." And he said, "Can I give you one as well, Mr. Muhammad?" I said, "Sure. You know, are you willing to accept my card?" He said, "Sure." So I gave him my card in Freebay. Now, here's the difference. I know Holy Quran says that everything in life is transitory, right? But this is what I said to the gentleman. I said, "You know, that card is yours as long as you work for this institution." He said, "Yeah." I said, "That card I gave you is mine for life. It's not dependent on anyone else providing for me. It depends on me being willing to do for myself." He said, "So it's your own business?" I said, "No, sir. I am the business." Boy, did we have a good conversation. It went into talking about gold, and I had to show him. Because he's a banker, he's a bank manager, and has never been made to handle gold or even have it as a matter of discussion. Because the banks will not tell you, the worker, what you need to know about the wealthy. The government won't tell you. Your schools and institutions won't tell you. So when we find the good news and we try it and it proves itself, we share it. Gold, pure gold. Gold is money. At tenth of a gram of gold you can get. And it can help you with these wonderful products. This life card, that's 1/10 of a gram of gold. That 1/10 of a gram, you can exchange it for a digital currency covered in gold. This is our V999 token. I was going to show you all the ins and outs of it today, but come back on our Gold Rocks platform tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern. That coin, when you exchange gold for gold that can move, this gold goes out into the marketplace, and everywhere it goes, everywhere it lands, everyone that touches it, it pays you a 0.02% transaction fee for every time that it moves for life. For life. For life. And it's a willable part of your estate. Allah forbid, if He calls you home today, your children can pick up, your wife can pick up, and they can keep on stepping because they have gold that's going to pay them for life. Now, if that 1/10 of a gram of gold only costs you $8, and that $8 allows you to secure one of these coins that you put in the market, and it makes fees for you everywhere it goes for life, how many of those would you get? Then we have the V999, which you'll hear more about tonight. Then we have the robots. The robots that trade for you when you're asleep. You can't do it yourself. Oh man, that sounds too complicated. It's not complicated. You're in your home, right? You have Google and you drive with GPSs and Alexas. Check this out. Alexa, what time is it? Alexa, what time is it?
The time is 3:27 p.m.
See that? That's the same thing you do with those robots. except you tell the robots how much money you're trying to make and where you're trying to make it, and you send it out to find it for you, and it comes back and tells you, hey, I found it here. Then all you gotta do is click on it to accept the transaction. And guess what? You're on your way to financial security. And then you have our trading academies that help you to understand how to budget your time. You know, we always say we're busy. Man, I'm just too busy. I'm too busy. I know you're busy. We all have the same 24 hours in a day. But when you organize yourself, you'll find that you have more time, even if you program 8 hours sleep. I tried the formula that's in that academy. I tried the formula. I programmed 8 hours of sleep into the time frame of all that I need to do. And you know what? At the end of a week of 168 total hours, at the end of a week, I still had 27 hours left. But you don't think you have any time left because you're just running. It's about efficiency. So when you organize yourself, you discipline yourself, you move accordingly inside those principles to achieve your dreams, you'll find yourself getting there faster, sooner, healthier, and wealthier. And each of these products help you to understand that, and they're yours. And you earn commission off all of them. Think about it. You went to college and you paid all that tuition for degrees that you can't even work in now because the jobs are gone, the pandemic is hit, and unemployment is at all-time highs. And now many of those jobs are obsolete that you got your degrees in, but your debt isn't. They still expect you to pay. Here, you learn how to identify money, handle money, make money, save money, grow money, and leave it for generations with your name on it. And it pays you for the teaching. Man, that's all I got. I need y'all to join us tonight. Yeah, I see that. I'll play Mr. LaBeouf again. I need y'all to join us tonight at 9 p.m. I need y'all to do that. I need y'all to be with me, be with us on our Gold Rocks platform, www.goldrocks.info. I need you to understand in closing that the only thing that's keeping you from greatness today is your unwillingness to let go of the word no. That's what keeps you from being great. No, you're not going to be great at the start, but you can't be great until you start. Let go of the no. Let it go. Don't equate no with failure. Failures are stepping stones to success. That's what they are. And success is the study of the obvious. You want to know what the wealthy do? You want to know how the wealthy live? You want to know how the wealthy play? Hang out with the wealthy tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern, www.goldrocks.info. You have to have an account. You have to have a FreeBay account to even be a part of what I'm sharing with you. You can't get it on the outside. And here's the kicker. It's free. And then on top of that, not only is it free, but you can earn money and never acquire any of those packages that you see up here. Any of it. Not even the gold. And you can earn by just sharing it with somebody else, and you're rewarded when you sponsor them and they get it themselves, because there's going to be somebody out there that understands that gold is money and they need it now. You want to get it now? How many times are you willing to spend $8? Join us tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern, www.goldrocks.info. Get with me or whomever you need to get a hold of their password to get on that platform. And for those of you who are ready to run with me right now, I want you to go to KB, I think it's in the ticker there, kbgold.info, and leave me your information, and I'll get back to you. www.kbgold.info is there on the ticker running across my image there. Peace and power. Appreciate your time. Appreciate the opportunity. Hey, let's go. Just do it. Just do it. Like every day on the screen, we're going to do it. Just do it. Forward.
Some people dream success. Don't let your dreams be dreams. You should get to the point where anyone else will quit, and you're not gonna stop there. So just do it. Make your dreams come true. Do it. Nothing is impossible. Do it. Make your dreams come true. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Just